Hello, everybody out there. Am I audible and visible? Audience, I sincerely hope you all are doing fine. जिंदगी आपको अच्छी ट्रीट कर रही है बिकॉज जिंदगी का कोई भरोसा नहीं है गाइस। कभी अच्छे मूड में होती है तो अच्छा ट्रीट कर लेती, कभी अच्छे मूड में नहीं होती है तो कुछ कहा नहीं जा सकता है। अब देखो, जैसे जिंदगी वॉज इन अ वेरी गुड मूड व्हेन इट डिसाइडेड टू ट्रीट सम्यक एंड स्वास्तिक। तो ये दो स्टड्स हमारे साथ बैठे हुए हैं, सम्यक मिश्रम एंड स्वास्तिक मुखर्जी। मुखर्जी साहब का तो मैं क्या ही बोलूं, मतलब सरनेम उनका बता रहा है वो कहाँ से बिलोंग करते हैं। इज फ्रॉम बंगाल। और लाइफ स्माइल्ड डाउन एट हिम बिकॉज स्वास्तिक मुखर्जी कन्वर्टेड बैंगलोर। सो ही हैज बीन अवर प्राइड, iQuanta का। एंड अभी आपको आगे लेके चलेंगे, बताएंगे कि अच्छा, मतलब इंट्रोडक्शन के बाद कि स्वास्तिक ने क्या किया क्या नहीं। सो लाइफ स्माइल डाउन एट हिम ऑफ कोर्स। और जैसे कहते हैं ना, लेडी लक स्माइल या लक प्लेड अ रोल, ये भी मैं जानना चाहूंगी इन दोनों बच्चों से आज के, मतलब इनके केस में एक्चुअली लक था या क्या था, लेडी लक था, जेंट लक था, जो भी। और दूसरा स्टड जो हमारे पास है, सम्यक मिश्रम, ही इज अ प्रॉपर मुंबईकर, माय डियर ऑडियंस। तो मतलब पहले इन्होंने सोचा था कि चलो, मतलब करते हैं, कुछ करते हैं, कुछ करना था इनको, जोश था, जुनून था। फिर उसके बाद ही ट्राइड टू गो अहेड विथ कैट। अब इनका कहना है कि 2023 में एक बार मैंने पहले दिया था कैट, 2023 में। लेकिन कैट क्यों दिया था? क्योंकि मम्मी ने बोला था जाके दे लो। सो जस्ट टू मेक हिज मदर हैप्पी। मतलब कितनी ब्लेस्ड है मम्मी कि जस्ट टू मेक हिज मदर हैप्पी ही जस्ट वेंट एंड टुक द कैट। सो दैट वाज जस्ट अ नॉन सीरियस अटेम्प्ट। उसके बाद इन्होंने बोला चलो आई रोल अप माई स्लीव्स, एक बार और देते हैं। और इस बार ऐसा दिया कि मतलब फिर तो कैट वॉज रनिंग अराउंड फॉर कवर कि भाई मुझे बचा लो, सम्यक मिश्रा आ रहा है। सो बोथ द स्टड्स हैव कन्वर्टेड बैंगलोर। क्या ही बताऊं मैं इन दोनों का। इनका एक्साइटमेंट इज लाइक पैल्पेबल, इट्स देयर ऑन देयर फेसेस। अच्छा लग रहा मुझे इन दोनों से मिलके। सो चलिए ऑडियंस, सबसे पहले तो ना ये हसीन शाम है, इसको और हसीन करते हैं, इन दोनों से बात करते हैं। आई एम गोइंग टू इंट्रोड्यूस, आई मीन आई हैव ऑलरेडी इंट्रोड्यूस्ड बोथ द बॉयज फ्रॉम माय एंड। आई एम गोइंग टू आस्क सम्यक एंड स्वास्तिक to tell us a little bit about themselves. उसके बाद फिर we'll get the ball rolling। देखते हैं कि कॉन्वर्सेशन किधर से किधर जाता है। ओके स्वास्तिक, over to you. Please tell the audience a little bit about yourself, जो मैंने नहीं बताया उसके अलावा कुछ और।
Thank you, ma'am, for the great introduction. Yeah, I mean, very good introduction that way. So I'm a very fellow gem. Many of the CAD aspirant and the family will recognize with that name. So with that name comes a lot of hardships our way. Um, so I belong from Kolkata, born and brought up. I studied at Jadavpur University. This is my second attempt. In my first attempt, a little bit of health issues crept up during the exam day, and that ruined that attempt. But this time, God was kind, and today I'm sitting with a Bangalore admit along with Samya. So, yeah, I mean that's life. That's life for you. Some days will be bad, but if you keep working, it will be nice someday.
So what was your first reaction, और how did you feel जब पता चला था कि कन्वर्जन हो गया है?
So Bangalore decided to release mails first this time, not releasing the status on the website. So it
हम्म।
was a very nervy moment. I mean, we are part of so many groups after the calls roll out and the interview process comes. So everyone is nervous as to like someone gets the mail, someone doesn't get the mail. When is it coming? So I was lucky to be in the first kind of a batch because they released in batches. So
Okay.
when I first opened, it was a very like it was kind of like I don't even remember what I actually felt. It was very numb. I just wanted so many things at the same time was going through my head. The first thing I did was show my dad the message. I didn't even think of anything else. I just went and showed my dad. I gave my phone to my dad and just said, read the top line. And then everything else is a blur after that. I mean,
So who was crying, you or dad? Like what was it?
definitely, there was some tears in dad's eyes. I am generally not that much of an expressive person that I will like cry, but internally, definitely, it's less crying. It's more of like so much stress because this process is long, right? Any CAT aspirant would know. Like you're starting from April of this year, and next year April, I'm sitting and you're still maybe not sure because only ABC released the results first. Some people are not yet sure what they're gonna get, so
Yeah.
it's a long process and it's kind of like finally it's over. That kind of feeling was the biggest feeling that crowded my mind. So yeah.
Samyak, over to you. Please tell us something about yourself.
Yeah, this just takes me back to all the interviews of all the panelists saying, please tell us about yourself. Born and brought up in Mumbai. I did my BTech from IIT Madras. Then I worked for 2 years and I quit in July last year so that I could focus on CAT full-fledged. And then CAT happened, gave all those interviews, and then admit mil gaya.
So, what was your first reaction when you got
So
the result?
like Swastik said, all the WhatsApp messages were all the WhatsApp groups were shooting messages that okay, IIM Bangalore results are out. So I was first, even I thought that they'll update it on the portal. So I immediately logged onto the portal and I could not see anything. It was just the same old that I saw when I submitted the application. And then I started searching for Reddit. Okay, what are they sending the communication through? So okay, it's email. And at the same time, so on my laptop, my email tab is always open, and I saw the email counter go up by one. So I was like, so I opened it, and so I opened it and I see, okay, IMB PGP offer of admission. Okay, cool.
Then you must have been stunned. Oh my God. ऐसा ये reaction था. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I was expecting it. ये था reaction.
Kind of, yeah. So I read the entire like email twice just to be sure that okay, सही में मिला है कि नहीं. And then I went to my mummy and said कि okay, I am Bangalore convert हो गया. So she was like okay. She hugged me and all. She was a bit emotional because she has seen me grind through all the
Struggling.
months.
Huh.
So yeah, and then I called my
What
father.
treat did you get that day from your mother? What did she
Uh,
make for you?
Not that day immediately because like we had traveled for the past week, so she was a bit exhausted. But today we had chicken.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Okay. So, boys, when I had started introducing you both, I mentioned something about luck. मतलब ऐसा होता है ना कि like when I talk to so many students, तो बहुत सारे ऐसे होते हैं, they say this. No, I was plain lucky. What do you think? Is cat about luck or hard work? I mean, okay, before you answer, let me give you my point in a sentence. For me, it's not luck. Maybe it's like, 10%, 20% luck. But for me, the rest of it, if it is hard work. So what about you both?
Samak, could you go ahead?
Oh yeah, please go ahead.
No, no, go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, I would agree with that. It is not entirely on luck, maybe 5-10%, like ma'am said, but most of it is about hard work. Like, you can't rely on luck for like the majority of part because you can't expect to just gain marks through like matkas, right? So
Ah,
hard work is very important. Like, consistent practice is the key to like, cracking an exam like that. Like even through the unpredictability of the exam.
right. What about you, Swastik?
So I agree with you, man. It's definitely not about full luck, of course. I look at it this way: like, let's say you did consistent practice for the whole year, you improved your baseline performance to a certain level. But CAT is not; it's not deterministic, right? Your percentile, you can never really, whatever your mock scores have been, you can never predict your percentile.
True,
So
true.
what the part luck plays is it's basically it's like you have a certain range of percentile you may get, and luck will only cater to your higher variance. So the variance that your percentile has, luck can only get you to the higher ranges of that. But the
Hmm.
baseline or the mean or the median of that percentile, that's your hard work. Luck cannot get you that. So the high median will obviously ensure that you at least perform well. I mean, a person getting 50 percentile cannot get up to the exam and get 99.9. That's
Very
not
true.
possible.
He cannot bank on luck that much that, okay, from 50,
Yeah.
he can simply shoot up. So, Swastik, if if we talk of hard work, do you really and truly feel that you had gone that extra mile for this result?
Um, I'm not sure extra mile, but I definitely gave whatever I had. You have 24 hours, right? So I had work for at least 8 to 10 hours, sometimes less, sometimes more. You come back, you have some rest, you need to recharge again, and then sit. Spend 1 to 3 hours every day for CAT because that's about as much time you can give at full efficiency. Above that, you are not really efficient, so it's not really worth it. So keeping that consistency is important, I think. And I think beyond that, just doing that consistently, I think takes a lot of effort. So I think in my view, I gave whatever I could to the exam. and rest, God was kind. So yeah,
Ah,
yeah, I think
okay. So now you're putting God also over there, that God was kind. Okay, cool.
God or anything, whatever exists. I mean, things we don't have control over
Yeah,
because
yeah,
a
of
lot of
course. Yeah.
uncontrollables
Maybe,
are there.
your parents' prayers worked or whatever. Like, I think, there is always this proportion. ठीक है, okay, as you said, like 80% is hard work.
Mhm.
मतलब मैं 80 रखती हूँ उसको, and then 10% maybe, the good wishes that you carry or the faith
Of
that
course,
you carry in your heart. And then the remaining 10% maybe, it was a bad day or it was a good day. So accordingly, as you said, once you reach the high echelons, the notches, and then maybe, luck favors you. So
of
Samir,
course.
did you do the hard work?
Yeah, ma'am, for sure.
Okay.
So, uh, like, like Swastik, I only was able to put a few number of hours while I was working because I think I only used to speed run through the live lectures and then join application class midway because I used to work till 7, 8 o'clock in the evening, and by that time the live classes had already started. So I used to watch those at 2x, have dinner maybe after finishing the lecture or while towards the end of the lecture, and then I'll start joining from the application class. So yeah, but after I quit my job, I was able to put like 10 to 12 hours a day on a regular basis
Huh.
after starting from August 1st, basically.
Acha, you said starting from August 1st.
Yeah, but
That was because you,
I actually
huh,
started from Jan. So from
huh.
Jan to July, I used to study for like 3, 4 hours, and after that,
You quit your job and then you kind of
yes, yeah, yeah,
dove right into it with like 10 to 12 hours.
correct.
अच्छा, तो सम्यक आपने तो पूरा कोर्स लिया था आई क्वांटा का. So
Hmm.
far I remember, okay?
Yeah.
And if we look back, last April, ठीक है, अभी we are in April, the last week of April. So where do you see yourself then? मतलब अप्रैल में what were you doing exactly? Because I'm sure the audience would want to know कि भाई सम्यक अप्रैल में करता क्या था ऐसा जो इनको भी अभी करना चाहिए.
So in April, I was I was very consistent with the live and application classes. I used to just show up to those, and after that, I used to do some as much as possible. I used to solve RCs or solve LRDI sets or some quant questions out of those class timings. But other than that, I think in April and May, you can just follow the classes, and I think the mocks start from June, so I think
Yeah.
you need to start uh, s- uh, s- you need to start putting some time apart to give mocks as well, and mock analysis is a must because you will get nowhere without mock analysis.
Yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
mock analysis is the one thing that actually saved my life, honestly,
Mm-hmm.
because just watching lectures and doing application classes is one part. It's only like 50 to 60% of the journey, but doing the analysis will actually get you, okay, this is the type of question which takes a lot of time. So maybe in the next mock, if I encounter such a question, I'll skip it or I'll keep it for round 2 or round 3. So mock analysis is a must. But other than that, right now in April, just be consistent with the classes and application classes. And if you
Yes.
have any doubts, use the app and the Facebook group for
Right.
yeah.
अब तो I'm sure you know this that we have moved out of the
Ha,
Facebook.
yes.
We are making that transition. So, I mean, for those of you out there who do not know this, we have already transitioned over to our app. It's a proper iQuanta app. And I agree that there are initial teething problems that will be there whenever there's like, technology involved. But we all are working like to make things very smooth. So hopefully very soon creases will get ironed out. और जैसा सम्यक ने बोला ना ऑडियंस, मतलब आई अग्री विथ हिम ऑन दिस कि लास्ट अप्रैल अगर जैसे सम्यक था तो वो क्लासेस कर रहा है एंड ही इज डूइंग द एप्लीकेशन क्लासेस. In case you don't know, application classes क्या होते हैं? You learn the concept, let's say, with the educator. And then in the application classes, you do extensive practice. So let's say 12 to 15 questions or 20 questions of that particular topic are given to you, and you do those questions back to back. तो दिमाग में somehow those questions kind of, that concept gets reinforced. और सम्यक ने ये भी बोला कि मॉक्स का जैसे इंपॉर्टेंस होता है, तो यहाँ पे मैं आपको एक चीज बताना चाहूंगी ऑडियंस कि बेस्ड ऑन व्हाट सम्यक सेड, आई डिवाइड द प्रेप इनटू टू पार्ट्स जैसा उसने भी किया. मतलब टू इन द सेंस, one is getting the concepts and the application and everything, and then the other part is the time management. वो टाइम मैनेजमेंट अगर आपका इन प्लेस नहीं है ना, तो then there's no use. Then no matter how accurate you are, you will not be able to select, जैसा उसने बोला कि कौन सा क्वेश्चन करना है, which one is taking away a lot of time. और यहाँ पे ना मॉक्स का एक बहुत ज्यादा इंटरेस्टिंग इंसाइट आपको कौन देगा? स्वास्तिक देगा. बिकॉज स्वास्तिक हैड टेकन द मॉक सीरीज एंड ऑल, तो स्वास्तिक हमको बताएगा एग्जैक्टली लाइक उसने किया क्या था, हाउ मेनी मॉक्स इट टुक, एनालिसिस कैसे करता था, या एआई बेस्ड लिया था. सो स्वास्तिक, ओवर टू यू नाउ. प्लीज टेल अस समथिंग अबाउट द मॉक थिंग.
Yeah, so mocks for iQuanta start around June. So I think that is the season when basically June is the month where most aspirants get into the mock giving season, and the number of applicants in mocks also increases. Before that, as Samyak said, mostly it's about from April to June. It's about building your base, preparation. For me, it was around let's say you have three sections, right? VARC, LRDI, and QA. So since I could only give like around 2 to 3 hours max, some days even like 1 hour only to the preparation, so I just took two subjects. Some people take three subjects every day, but I took two subjects every day and rotated it day wise. So let's say I took VARC and QA. I did something. I also took the IIM ABC practice batch. So I used to finish that during April and May months, and then previous year questions to just build my base on these topics. And then maybe one or two mocks every 2 weeks during that time, just to see where I'm going, because the mock analysis part, especially iQuanta's mocks, the platform is a little bit different than the other institutes. So they have a lot of features to analyze your weak points, your strength points, what to improve, what to not improve, and also from throughout the entire number of mocks you've given, they also analyze your trajectory. So I think those are very important. I think mock analysis forms the linchpin of your preparation, not any other thing, I believe, because it's an exam. You're trying to game an exam, right? So you have to game the analysis.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's also a personal thing. I think some people have some strengths in some sections. I personally liked VRC and QA. VRC was my strength personally, and being an engineer, one has to be something you ace. So LRDI was always a problem, but I somehow managed to do like grind it with practice. So I think
Can
analysis.
you tell us your scores in all the three subjects, Swastik?
So my raw scores or the percentile
And
list?
percentile, of course. We understand
Yeah.
percentiles more. Yeah.
So in VARC I got 99.96, and DILR I got 99.57, and Quant I got 99.6.
So in everything, it was 99 point, like very high scores. That was pretty good. So yeah, okay, that sounds nice. Acha, you mentioned something about IIM ABC batch. You had taken that also. How did that help you?
So it has a huge repository of practice questions, right? So I think that helped me to build my base. Because that in April, May, you don't have much mocks to give. So you need to build that base, build that level, and finally, when you give the mocks, it gives some. Because basically, in the 2 hours that you give the exam, 40 minutes per section, you don't really have much time to think and derive anything. It's all background information in your brain. And the more practice you do, the more you can derive from them. More reading you do, you will be better in bar. The more questions you practice, you will recognize better questions in LRDI, and same for quant. So it's all about, so practice is a huge function of what you will
True,
perform.
true, true.
Yeah.
So in IIM ABC batch, my darling audience out there, we give out like higher level questions. It's a huge repository of questions, and we assume that if you have reached so far, you have obviously built up to a certain level. So when you take the IIM ABC batch, it kind of gives you like more expertise with higher level questions. और अच्छा, आप दोनों मुझे एक चीज बताओ. आजकल जैसे मैं नए बैचेस को हैंडल कर रही हूँ, वी ऑलरेडी हैव बैच 1 एंड बैच 2. बैच 2 हमारा एकदम हाल फिलहाल में स्टार्ट हुआ है. सो अभी मतलब बच्चों को पता है क्या, एक पीयर प्रेशर आता है. Like I get connected with my students on a daily basis. So this is like a very common query that ma'am, I am kind of facing this pressure because मतलब बच्चे, you won't believe, literally नाम लेके बोला है बच्चों ने क्लास में, फला और फला. वो तो कितना ऐसा लग रहा है जैसे वो तो पता नहीं कितना वो कर रहा है. फला और फला, वो तो ऐसा लग रहा है सारे रिप्लाईज दे रहा है. Did you both ever face this thing called peer pressure, and how should you cope with it? I mean, in case you face it. Samyak, go ahead.
Yeah, so I actually saw like a few people who were like answering very fast in all the three sections. Like one person would be like super good in all the three. So I used to not get peer pressure. Actually, I used to be like, I just saw that okay, this guy's competition, I need to beat this guy, so even I'll reach to that level. And even in mock tests, what one of my goals while giving mocks was to get on the podium. Like I see 5 or 6 people consistently getting top 5, top 3 ranks. So even my goal was to like, okay, I need to get to that level कि भाई मुझे भी उस level तक जाना है. So instead of getting into peer pressure, I saw it as a friendly competition with myself and with the other person as well. कि, okay,
Hmm.
if that person can do it, I can do it as well. I just need to put in more effort. I just need
Okay.
to we don't know what the other person is doing behind the screen, right? So we
True.
just need to do whatever we can, and if you work hard enough, you will like, obviously get to the goal.
True, true, true. What about you, Swastik? Your 2 cents on this?
Yeah, I completely agree with what Samyak said, because I mean we both come from the JE ecosystem, right? So we have seen what some in some classes what overachievers can do, and so we are used to that thing. Like peer pressure, of course, it's a human nature, so peer pressure will come, but we are used to it to not give any thought to it. Like not
Hmm.
more than 2 minutes we're gonna think about it, because at the end of the day, in a competitive exam, the person who answered 10 questions in the class, uh, it will not necessarily translate to that person scoring well, because any competitive exam person knows this. So it's all about you, right? You are going to give the exam. What does it matter if another person is doing very well or doing very bad for that matter? I mean, what are you doing? That's
और
what
फिर
I ask.
यहाँ पे तो वो कछुआ और खरगोश वाली कहानी दैट हिट्स सो
हाँ.
रेलेवेंट दैट्स लाइक काइंड ऑफ हाँ,
Yeah.
हमें क्या पता कि उसने मतलब वो बीच में जाके सो रहा है क्या कर रहा है इवेंचुअली हु इज गोइंग टू विन वी डोंट नो सो या सो ऑडियंस आई होप यू हर्ड दैट I mean, do not succumb to peer pressure, guys, because it's not going to take you anywhere. We don't know what the other person I mean, where the other person started. We don't know what his starting point was. We don't know his journey. We don't know what he's actually doing. He's just displaying something in the class, and we all are kind of getting overwhelmed by that. ठीक है. अच्छा, आप लोग अगर like if you guys look back and if you see कि अच्छा April, like April, March and all you started, even Swastik you were preparing on your own, ठीक है, April, March, April, May and all, and then you guys jumped into the mocks thing and all in June. You started probably by June, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So should students take mocks or like maybe 1 or 2 sectionals or something like in the beginning, like before June? What is your take on that?
For me, I would believe that yeah, they should take some. Like they don't have to start the full mock practice like every week, 1 or 2 mocks. They don't have to
Hmm.
do that, but they should take some, because to get the flavor of the exam, right? Because sometimes what happens, like this is countless times I've seen, people are gathering so much resources during this April May season, right? They're gathering, okay, this question said this book. They're
Hmm.
taking 3 books for quant, which they will never finish. And it's like some of these are out of syllabus also for CAT. So they, first of all, to give the exam, you need to know what the exam is and what it's
Hmm.
asking. So most people, like at least like 40-50% people don't know this. So for that, you need to give the exam, because people get very much like they are surprised what the exam really is when they give their first mock. Right? Everyone knows their first horrible mock experience. So
Yeah.
I think they should definitely give a few mocks, few sectionals before June, because by June the competition heats up a lot. The whole of India will compete, and it's very difficult, right? Human nature, as we said, some people will perform so good, and you're going to be like, "Where am I in the race?"
Acha, so
So,
what was your score in the first mock?
okay, I think I scored something like, but my percentile wasn't bad, right?
Hmm.
Because the test takers being low, I think it was percentile was around 99 only, but I
Hmm.
scored like I think around some 67 marks
Okay.
special. So,
Huh.
yeah,
So
but there have been a lot of
percentile,
low
so
marks.
you are saying percentile was high because obviously there weren't so many test takers at that time in the initial stage, है ना? Then
Yeah.
later, of course, the whole of India wakes up and then there's a chaos कि हाँ चलो, everybody starts falling on their heels. Okay. What was your score, Samyak, in the first mock, if you remember?
I don't remember exactly, but I just know that in the first 2 full-length mocks, I had zero score in LRDI because for the entire 40 minutes, I was just helplessly moving from set to set. कि अच्छा ये हो जाएगा नहीं नहीं हुआ okay ये हो जाएगा and then I was just that was kind of like just like a fish out of the water. But then I started practicing properly and then I started getting a hang of the LRDI as well.
How come you both were not? चलो ठीक है, स्वास्तिक का तो 67% था, so that was still not bad. और आपका DI में जैसे आपने बोला, I mean, There are students who actually feel very demotivated if they see bad scores in the first one or two mocks, you know. मतलब उनको really फिर doubt हो जाता है, self doubt creeps in. So what would you say to these students, Swastik?
So I'll give a better example. Like the first mock may have been lucky, but 6 days before the exam, I got a one in LRDI. Yeah,
Wow.
okay. 6 days before
Six
this year's
days
CAT.
before CAT. Okay.
Yeah. So I got
Wow.
one in LRDI. So by that time, of course, I knew, and the conditioning was also done that these scores you should not let them get to your head. But
Yeah.
at least from a first mock perspective, the thing is LRDI especially because that is a new thing, right? VARC, I mean, people have read comprehension passages in school.
Mm-hmm.
All people have done math, but LRDI is a new thing. Nobody has really done what LRDI asks, at least CAT LRDI. So at least unless you're like very high aptitude person, you're not going to be, at least in the first round, you're not going to do well. So it was a shock for me, as for many other people. But it's just familiarization. The key is familiarization. So, and it is slow. It will not like you give 2 marks and third mark you think you're going to get all 99. No, it's not going to happen. And yeah, I mean, even 6 days before exam, you can get 1 mark.
Yeah, 6 days,
Yeah,
1 mark. I mean, normally the students would have really kind of broken down, you know, on that 1 mark wala thing. Ki ab to like I can't manage it. But still,
yeah,
like that didn't deter you from your path.
yeah. Because sometimes the mocks also like so many mocks there are people are making so many mocks and so many institutes are making there has to be some sets which do not really represent what the cat asks, right? Some are difficult, some are very easy, they will be like over amplifying your actual marks in the cat. So it's this variance is accepted by every aspirant. You will know some marks, you will not get marks, whatever
True.
you do you will not get. So yeah, it's part of the whole game.
Samyak, what was your lowest phase इन योर कैट प्रेप? कभी तो ऐसा होता होगा ना यार कि मतलब ठीक है आप धुरंधर हो लेकिन फिर भी कभी तो होता होगा. यू मस्ट
Uh,
हैव फेस दैट, द ब्लीक
yes.
एरिया. हाँ.
So wasn't a low area, but during like July, there was a lot of work pressure because since I was leaving, I had to give a lot of KT to my
हम्म.
teammates, and on top of that, I had to do my regular job as well. So
हम्म.
I was not able to study at all in the month of July. So I was feeling a bit bad about myself. Ki, bhai, what am I doing? Why am I? I'm going to quit my job and I'm not studying at all. Why?
हम्म.
It might go to waste, like me leaving
Yeah.
the job. So that was kind of a low point. But then I think from 28th or 29th July, my workload again became low because all the KT was done. I
हम्म.
had successfully done or finished off all of my deliverables. So I started studying again. So the
Yeah,
upward
and
curve
then
started.
from 1st of August, I guess you got back on track.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
So
okay.
I had a bit of a backlog as well in the classes, so I finished first that, and even in the month of July also I was not able to give any mocks, so
हम्म.
I had that backlog as well. So yeah.
अरे तो इतने सारे तो वो थे मतलब चीजें दैट कुड हैव डीमोटिवेटेड यू एंड यू कुड हैव थॉट नहीं अब तो नहीं हो सकता है मेरे से. But then
Uh,
probably you were determined or consistent or what was it? Give me
uh,
one word that
I
was
just
there.
I just wanted it honestly.
You wanted
Yeah.
it. Nice. What about you, Swastik? What was your lowest phase in your prep?
Yeah, I think what Samyak described is almost identical. Just the month is end of September to mid of October for me. Yeah,
Haha.
it's very same. The workload was insane at that time for me. Just not finding time. Workload insane, and that's the time when things really heat up, right? 1 or 2 months to go to CAD. Everywhere videos are coming out, strategy, this strategy, that strategy, and it's like, what am I doing? My scores are low.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a low point. But I mean, you get used to it. I think we both gave our second. I think it was technically a second serious attempt for Samyak and for me too. So I think since we have given the CAT once, I think that plays a part in our confidence that I mean, at the end of the day, the exam is not dependent. I mean, whatever you scored in your mock, it doesn't matter. On the day of the exam is what matters. So one bad exam, so what? There are good exam days also. So we
Yeah, right.
kind of like gaslighting yourself. I mean, I do believe that gaslighting yourself works in this case, in this particular case only. That I mean, low marks for so what? And just remember the good days. I mean,
Yeah.
any other part of life that is not good, but I think in this particular case, you should be a little bit overconfident, little bit like it doesn't matter. I'm Superman.
Hmm.
I
And
think
Swast,
adding I
huh,
think
say,
actually adding on to that, there should be a cycle of like being overconfident and at the same time putting yourself down when you are at a very high point, so that you don't
Very much.
become too overconfident. You need to humble yourself as well.
true,
So I
true,
think,
true.
yeah,
Hmm.
that's something that I
Definitely.
used to do a lot.
And
Yeah,
Swastik,
definitely.
I remember you said that VRC was your favorite. QA was definitely good because you're from engineering background. DI for you was like a little bit of a gray area, right? How big a gray area was it?
Uh, like, so my target was, so I mean, people would not think that this is not a gray area, but my target was a consistent 99. Like, I was not targeting the 99.9 or like close to
Hmm.
100 for LRDI, definitely. My target was if I get above 99, I'm fine with LRDI, but the rest I need more than 99.5 at least. So
Hmm.
that was my basic targeting, because in LRDI, it's like, it's very difficult to, because uh, so some people who are strong in LRDI, they can do multiple sets. The selection becomes a lesser important thing for them. They can just start doing a set, and they know they will do at least out of 5 sets, 3 to 4 they will definitely do. These are the very strong people in LRDI who score above 99.9, right? I wasn't one of them, so I know I have to select the right sets, right? That is the big game. In LRDI, if you select the wrong set, doesn't matter how good you are, you're
You are
gone.
doomed, yeah.
Yeah, so it was about that. Like, you can't really control that. In some mocks, you just don't pick the right set. And so, what are you going to do? If you always think that, oh my God, I'm not doing well, you're going to get demoralized. So I reduce my target. It's like anything above 99, I'm fine. Thankfully, on the exam day, it worked. So I think that much. I mean, I didn't score bad in LRDI. I wouldn't say it was bad. It
No, you
hovered
scored
around.
very well. But that's what I'm trying to understand that since you said that was your third and stepchild kind of a section, मतलब ठीक है वैसा वाला. So वही what how you turned it was like probably you just kind of focused more on selection. You understood that question selection or set selection is very important, right? और यहाँ पे audience in case you don't know, CAT is about question selection. I mean CAT एक इकलौता ऐसा एग्जाम लगता है मुझे जिसमें like you know if you do 50% of your questions you're good to go. You can be among the top percentile wala students. So this is what Swastik did. I mean, he focused on question selection. That is something that you guys should practice right from the beginning. चलो अभी उतना नहीं भी वो करो लेकिन something you know like by June July or something when you start taking mocks and sectionals you should focus on your question selection because there can be some questions that will bring you down और DILR में तो I know जितना मैंने सुना है लोगों से कि भाई if you select the wrong set on the D day फिर तो नथिंग कैन सेव यू आपका 20-25 मिनट तो वहीं पे खत्म हो गए फिर आप कहाँ से दूसरी बार स्टार्ट करके कहाँ से हाउ आर यू गोइंग टू ब्रिंग इट अप एंड सेव योर शिफ्ट सो ये था सम्यक व्हाट वाज योर वीकेस्ट सेक्शन अमंग द थ्री
I think I would say DILR as well.
ah
Yeah.
थैंक गॉड आज मेरे वीएआरसी का कोई भी ऐसा नहीं है नाम खराब करने वाला ओके सो डीआईएलआर सो हाउ डिड यू टर्न थिंग्स इन योर फेवर इन डीआईएलआर
So yeah, I one very basic advice that Sajjan sir had given me in one of the live classes was when you encounter a set during mock, you can like during mock just do whatever and how much ever you can. But after mock during analysis, spend 30 minutes on that set at max. Within 30 minutes, if you are able to get the logic of the set, well and good. But if after 30 minutes you are still struggling to get the logic, watch the solution from end to end and then do it on your own without watching the solution. That will actually help you get the whole logic into your head, and that actually helped me a lot while to get better in the section overall. So that is so very important to solve sets on your own. Just watching the solutions won't really help you at all, because there are a lot of types of sets that come in, right? Arrangements, distribution, games and tournaments. There are lots of sets, and you can't predict what cat will give you. So you need to be decent to good in all the sections to get a good percentile. But if you are like targeting a bit less, then you can maybe just focus mainly on distribution, arrangements, games and tournaments.
राइट 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 अच्छा डीआईएलआर चूंकि आप दोनों इतना बोल रहे हो कि हाँ दैट वाज लाइक द लीस्ट फेवरेबल सेक्शन फॉर यू गाइस कितने सेट्स प्रैक्टिस करने चाहिए डीआईएलआर में लाइक इन योर होल प्रेप जर्नी एक रफ बॉल पार्क फिगर आई एम लुकिंग फॉर
I think at least 300, 400, I guess, because
थ्री हंड्रेड
that's how
फोर
much I
हंड्रेड
did, I guess.
ओके यू
Yeah.
स्वास्तिक
Yeah. At least 200. I mean, you have all the, I would say, instead of sets, you have to cover the PYQs. I think that's the
Mhm.
biggest, most linchpin of all the LRDI sets. And then you have all the practice sets that you get in your mocks, in your sectionals. Those will get you up to 200. And if you need that additional boost, I mean, of course, if you're targeting those high percentages,
Mhm.
then what Samir said, 300. I think rest will come from those, like something like IIM ABC practice batch, right? And you are doing those extra things, so you will get 200 more sets.
So
I mean, that
Samyak,
is a good number.
Samyak, आपने कहाँ से निकाला था ये practice sets, like let's say 200, 250 sets?
Hmm.
What kind of repository did you dig into?
Like all the mocks. Uh, so I gave 40 mocks, so 40 into 5, 200 sets came from there. Then all
Mhm.
the live classes, application classes, and a friend of mine actually used to send me like selected sets from the ABC batch because I wasn't very
Ah,
uh, uh, regular in those. So, but all the very good sets he used to send it to me, so I used to solve those sets. So those are the
okay.
three kind of, yeah.
So I'm ABC batch to even swastik set. So basically यहाँ पे वही हो रहा है कि I'm ABC batch में you get a good repository.
Yeah, for
इतना
sure.
है कि मतलब आप आराम से उसमें प्रैक्टिस कर ले सकते हो. एंड
Hmm.
मॉक्स में यस यू गेव दैट गुड कैलकुलेशन कि इतना अगर हम कर लेते हैं मॉक्स में 40 मॉक्स के 5 सेट्स पर मॉक तो फिर तो दैट इज गुड एनफ ना. और
Yeah,
यहाँ पे एक ये चीज भी है ना सम्यक आई थिंक कि देखो द वे यू आर सेइंग कि आपने मॉक्स वाले को भी ना यू ट्रीटेड एज अ रिपोजिटरी कि कम से कम अगर मेरे से मॉक में नहीं हुआ तो लेट आई एम गोइंग टू डू दीस.
yeah,
बच्चे मुझे लगता है जनरली क्या करते हैं कि मॉक हमने दिया 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 ओके चल हटो हटाओ किनारे हटा दो. आई डोंट थिंक दैट्स द राइट अप्रोच. व्हाट डू यू से टू दैट? आई मीन वी शुड टेक इट सीरियसली. बाद में एनालिसिस तो करना ही चाहिए ना कि क्वेश्चंस आर देयर. आई नीड टू सिट एंड सॉल्व दोज मे बी विदाउट द टाइमर नेक्स्ट टाइम.
correct.
व्हाट डू यू से टू दैट बोथ ऑफ यू?
So, analysis, like I said in the beginning of the session itself, it is very, very important because the analysis is what actually allowed me to get better in DILR. And actually, analysis is something that I did not do during my JE time, so that led to a decently bad score during JE. But I think I changed that during CAT, and then I got a good score. And as it started actually getting better consistently in all the sections, not just in DILR, even in
Right.
VARC and QA.
What about you, Swastik? Your take on
So
this
yeah,
particular thing?
I agree with Samyak absolutely. I mean, the analysis is your preparation basically. It's the bread and butter. So how you do analysis that I think differs from person to person. But the length of time you should give an analysis, I think that should be at least 1.5 times your mock time. So at least 3 to 4 hours you should give. That's a minimum. Generally, you should give more because what I did was I solved through every question of every set. Like every set, first of all, in LRDI and all sections also. The questions I did correctly, I definitely looked at those if there's any other method to solve it in the solutions.
Correct. Yeah.
Questions I didn't do, of course, I will definitely solve it first myself and then look at the solution. And the questions I left, again, I will solve those. So basically, all the questions I have to go through. So this
True.
builds stamina also. And also in your head, you're kind of, it's all about pattern recognition, basically. At the most base level, it's pattern recognition. So if you look at the passages again and again, if you study them, the meanings that you didn't get in the 40 minutes, in the 1 hour of analysis, you can understand much more. So that builds a base that cannot be built by just giving more mocks. Because giving a mock is trains something else and analysis trains something else. So you have to do both. You
Yeah.
can't just give 100 mocks and expect I'm going to get very good score. You're just
Yes,
not,
because
yeah.
see, that is the general lament that students come up with. I have taken 40 mocks, but my scores are not improving. So that is the point they need to understand. And two things that you said, they resonate so much with my ideas. I mean, one is that analysis thing. You have to go through that entire paper again. It's like, how can you leave even those questions that you got correct? Because maybe I'm solving a particular question in 5 minutes. Maybe there is a shortcut, I need to learn that. CAT is all about time. And then the second thing I liked very much when you said that there is a pattern thing. That is what I teach my students in VRC, that you have to just do PYQs and kind of, get familiar with that pattern, the CAT type questions, so that on the D-Day, when you sit there in front of the screen, it's like there. It's like, it's not something very new that you're encountering. और अच्छा अभी तक तो ना हम लोग ये बात कर रहे हैं कि लाइक ये स्टूडेंट्स को करना चाहिए समथिंग लाइक दिस दे शुड डू दिस, दे शुड डू दिस. वी आर काइंड ऑफ डिस्कसिंग ऑल दीज थिंग्स. अच्छा, कोई ऐसी चीज आप लोग को लगता है जो लाइक 90-95% स्टूडेंट्स डू रॉन्ग? कुछ ऐसी चीज दे शुड नॉट डू, लाइक समथिंग दैट यू फील दैट मे बी इफ यू हैड डन इट इन अ बेटर वे यू कुड हैव। खैर, और कहाँ जाता स्कोर, ये अलग बात है, लेकिन फिर भी मतलब something that they should not do, or a big mistake that most of the students make. So some gyan that you would want to give on that. Swastik, you go first.
I think we have discussed some of them definitely. One is
Hmm.
definitely don't give in to peer pressure. It is your journey, it is your
Correct.
exam. You will give
Hmm.
it is. I think this is a big one. Prioritize your resources. So I picked the iQuanta mock test series, and I picked one other mock test series as well. I think sometimes I've seen some people pick like 4, 5 mock test series, which they don't
Hmm.
finish. They pick so many resources, like 2, 3 books. They're not finishing those.
Correct. Huh.
Yeah, that doesn't help you. So I think MBA, I mean, eventually when they go to MBA, I think what we are seeing right now, I think MBA is, you will get a lot of FOMO in campus as well. If you
Hmm.
don't prioritize, you will end up as the average Joe in the campus only. Because it's all about prioritization. There are 100 things to do, and you can only do about 20 of them. So
True.
in that also, it's like just solving every type of question 100 times is not going to help you because it's only 40 minutes, 22 questions quant, 24 in VARC, and 5 sets of LRDI. I mean, you have to prioritize and give time to build that depth. I think that's a big thing. People don't do that. Again, we also discussed about the mocks. Just not analyzing because analysis is the hard part, right? From the
True.
mock becomes a fun thing after 25-30 marks. Most aspirants will know that routine sets in, like you're giving mock, and if you have good scores, it's a good thing. It gives dopamine hit. You're giving the mock, it feels nice. The worst part is the analysis. It's like, hey, I have to do this again and all this. So but that is the most important. So most people, I mean, I've seen some people, some of them are very good, some of them uh, it worked for them, but mostly I think people who give mocks much more than their ability. I think like around 80, 90, 100 mocks some people have given.
Hmm.
Small section of people benefit from it, but you cannot make that, right. I think thought in it, you don't need so many mocks, but do analysis. Whatever you can do
Yeah.
analysis, much mocks you can give, whatever that number may be. But if you're not doing analysis, another
There's no
extra mock.
point. Hmm. So we get the point. Swastik says, please don't succumb to peer pressure. Then Swastik also says that if you are taking a mock, don't skip the analysis part, or don't overdo the number of mocks. I mean, less is more. So even if you take 40 mocks, guys, and if you just do the proper analysis, if you treat those mocks as like, the building blocks on which you're building, and then you target the scores, it makes sense. If you're just kind of clamoring and just kind of running across, I don't think it makes any sense. Samyak, any two things that you would say don't do, or this is a big mistake that you're making?
Yes, so I think one thing that I used to do in during the early mocks was to get tunnel visioned because okay, yeah, I would come across a like science-based RC and I was like, okay, this is my forte, I should be able to do it. But the questions were filled with critical reasoning questions, so it is not worth it to spend as much time just because the topic is your strong point. Similarly, in quant as well, arithmetic was my strong point, and in the early mocks now I know that arithmetic has like really lengthy questions, but earlier I didn't know. So I used to spend a lot of times in arithmetic questions and end up doing less number of questions. So I think that is one thing that don't get ego get in your way. Okay, just accept that
Hmm.
this is a lengthy question or this is a tough RC or this is a tough set. Skip it. There is no shame in doing that. At the end of the day, you read marks. It doesn't matter where the marks are coming from. So that is the one thing you should be keeping in mind.
वेरी ट्रू, वेरी ट्रू। अच्छा, एक और चीज मेरे दिमाग में आ रही है ये कि आपने तो फुल कोर्स लिया था सम्यक। सो लेट्स कंसिडर यू स्टार्टेड लाइक व्हाट इन मार्च, यू सेड, है ना, यू स्टार्टेड इन
Jan,
मार्च,
Jan.
Jan, okay. And then, like, of course, you left your job, and then from 1st August, everything kind of was like proper on track. And then you were part of IIM ABC batch and everything. So, if I ask you to give your iQuanta experience in maybe 1 or 2 words, would you be able to do it?
Uh, Continuous and rigorous.
Continuous and rigorous. Wow, I like that. Okay. What about you, Swastik, since you were part of the test series thing? So, and then of course, I am ABC. You were there as well. So if I ask you for one or two words to give your experience.
Yeah, I would definitely pick consistency and rigorous as well. As bread and butter.
Consistency, yeah, rigorous. And then I guess मतलब exhaustive repository अगर जैसे आप देना चाहो तो हाँ ठीक है, there is a good set of questions and all. अच्छा, हम लोग इतनी देर से बात कर रहे हैं, मुझे मेरे ना बार बार ये लग रहा है कि you guys are going to go to Bangalore. Will you be able to cope with the pressure? I'm sure you guys know like what kind of pressure is in store for you. I mean, I'm Ahmedabad or Bangalore or wherever, the first 6 months to 1 year is going to be like very, very rough, है ना? So, what do you have in mind? You guys are ready for it, or it's like, क्या है?
So like right now, I'm still kind of processing that. Okay, I got into IMB,
हाँ,
but I mean, surely I'm well aware of the like as soon as I go in, I've heard that you need to start preparing for the summer internship process, and there are a
हम्म,
lot of coursework, and you need to be prepared about all the cases that the professors give you, and you have to read them beforehand before going to the class because you'll be randomly called out and asked to give your opinion on the things that happened in the case.
right.
So, and there will be continuous quizzes and assignments, group projects, and so on and so forth. So, I think it will be hectic life. I'll need to definitely, like Swastik said, prioritize my time a lot.
हाँ,
But yeah, I think I'll manage. I think I've done it. I've done it before. I think I can do it again.
वो कितना सही कहा था स्वास्तिक ने ना, that is really going to happen with you both on the campus. There will be like 1,000 things around. But then if you don't know what is important for you, if you don't prioritize, you're going to get overwhelmed. On the other hand, if you prioritize, it's going to be good. So, Swastik, are you mentally prepared for the Herculean 6 months to 1 year that lie ahead of you?
Still trying to process the whole thing, but yeah, I mean, I agree with Samyak. It's the prioritization already has started for many of us. People are already looking at case comms, how they want to fine tune their profile, build a master CV already. I mean, it's the process has leached into our pre-MBA time anyway. So I think, yeah, I mean, there are like academics going on. You have your CV prep, you have your SIP prep, you have your society interviews, placecom, atcom, catcom, all these things going on at the same time. I think that builds the pressure. And add to on top of that, you are among the best B school students in India. So I think that's why it's such a mayhem. But
Hmm.
it's another challenge, the next challenge on the path. So
Hmm.
I'm
So,
just lucky to be in Bangalore. So I think
yeah.
keeping that in mind, we'll work hard.
Okay. And who among you loves to sleep? Swastik, you or Samyak, you?
I
Me,
can function
definitely.
without sleep, I guess. But no, but since leaving the job, I think I've gotten attached to sleep.
But Swastik loves to sleep.
Yeah, I have a terrible sleep schedule, but I definitely do love to sleep. I think
Uh,
that's why the sleep schedule has been so bad. But yeah, I think I know that's a big pain point that's going to happen.
yeah, so
Basically,
you
if you
realize
forget
it's
sleep.
going to be like a series of sleepless nights because there'll be erratic timings and like you'll have to kiss your sleep patterns goodbye. So
Yeah.
that lies in store for you guys. So what you both have been very active. I mean, like besides studies and work and all, what else do you like? करते क्या हो आप लोग दोनों?
So I have many hobbies, but I like to dance. I play chess
Oh,
sometimes. Yeah. Cooking is also one of my big hobbies.
so
So
dancing Bollywood tunes or like
mostly
what?
hip hop, shuffle,
Okay.
lyrical,
So
all
you love
these.
to dance. Wow, that's
Yeah.
something so interesting. So I can already see you on the stage at IIM Bangalore and like being part of so many clubs and all communities and all and impressing girls. इधर उधर गिर रही हैं लड़कियां. Oh, swastik नाच रहा है भाई आज तो. So that is one. And then you said cooking. So cooking to de-stress or cooking because you love good food. What is it?
Both. Definitely, it's a de-stressor because I mean you're making something, right? It's a creative pursuit.
Mm.
You make something, then you marvel at something that you made and you eat it. Because I
Wow.
also love to eat food a lot. I'm a
Uh-huh.
complete foodie. I love lots of cuisines, and yeah, I think it's a big de-stressor for me. So
So in Bangalore, you're going to, I mean, your palate is going to have a ball because Bangalore, is famous for like all the cuisines of the world. I mean, you think of it and it's there. It's a place for foodies. And the third thing you said is chess. So how good are you at chess? मतलब Gary
oh,
Kasparov type अगर आपको खड़ा कर दिया जाए तो you will manage?
no, I'm definitely a beginner.
Okay.
Uh, during the COVID times, I think I started getting mostly interested in chess. and then it built up. In during the cat prep, I didn't get much time, but now I'm getting back to. But I do follow chess a lot, following the candidates that's going on.
Hmm.
So yeah, yeah. So yeah, definitely a beginner, not nothing like I'm extremely good and beginner,
I
but I
think
love.
Samyak also plays chess, the way he was nodding. No?
Yeah, I do. Like I go to the gym and I play chess is an understatement. I only started playing like 3 months ago. So sorry, overstatement because I
Hmm.
only started playing 3 months ago. So like I'm very bad at it. But yes, I also do follow chess news and stuff.
Besides chess?
I go to the gym.
आई वॉज अबाउट टू आस्क कि तुम दोनों में जिम कैसे कोई नहीं जा रहा है, मतलब आपका जेन में तो एक वो क्रेज है ना भाई, जिम नहीं गए तो आपने किया क्या लाइफ में? ओके, सो यू गो टू द जिम, ऑल
Yeah.
राइट। एंड सो मतलब पूरा डोला शोला टाइप्स।
Mostly it was so in December 2024, I went to a trip with my friends to Himachal Pradesh and we had like a short hike. And in that, I was like out of breath. I was like huffing and puffing, and I thought, "Ki
Ah.
bhai, at the ripe age of 22, this should not be happening to me." So I took it upon myself because I was like at like 33% body fat. So after that, I joined gym, uh, started dieting. So now I'm at like 21%, which is like
Hmm.
decently healthy now.
Oh, that's
So
good.
just
That's
to
good.
get
That's good.
healthier, I
So
started doing it.
realization came to you very early because, generally people don't realize it that because of their crazy work schedules, they're always glued to the chair. And then,
Correct.
like, this realization comes something like maybe in the late 30s or something. By that time, all the havoc has been done inside the body. तो
Yeah.
उसके बाद फिर it's a little too late to kind of rectify it. So, okay. अच्छा, अभी पता है, I think we will wrap up now in the next 5 minutes or so, but there is one last thing that I really want to get down to. Samyak is, audience, I hope you're there with me. Samyak is somebody who took the entire course iQuanta पे. So, coaching. मतलब, I can ask him how coaching helped him. And Swastik यहाँ पे, Swastik prepared on his own. Okay, because it was his second attempt, and he was like with iQuanta for the mocks and IIM ABC and all. So what we are going to do is I'm going to leave the mic to these two boys. So Samyak, आप हमको ना for the audience's benefit, you are going to tell us like one thing, one benefit associated with coaching, and then maybe Swastik can tell us one benefit that is associated with self study. तो यहाँ पे क्या होगा audience, what I want you guys to understand is that if Swastik is giving you one plus point of self study, it's not necessary that what worked for him will work for you. Because if he says self study gives me flexibility, maybe he was so consistent, so persistent that he was able to make it work for himself. So swastik जब बताएगा तो आपको समझना होगा, are you cut out for that? Are you cut out for self study? Or you still need a teacher, an educator to kind of goad you and prod you in class में virtual chaped and gali and like चलो उठो पढ़ लो. This is what I want all the audience to understand कि आपको क्या चाहिए. So चलो let's start. मतलब whatever comes to mind, this is going to be something friendly, but we have to keep in mind कि audience का हमारा भला हो, उनको समझ में आए कि अच्छा उनको ये चाहिए या ये चाहिए. ठीक है साम्यक? So चलिए साम्यक, you tell us first. Coaching, how did it help you?
Yeah, so iQuanta has a like really well structured plan on how the courses should go. Like they'll start from VRC, they'll start from all the basics. Like ma'am's actually for I think the first 2 3 classes with ma'am was just theory that okay, you have to read it like this, you have to do question selection like this, and so and for the other sections as well, there was proper concept building, and at the same time. Right after live class, there was application class as well. So whatever was taught in the live class was immediately hammered into our heads by application
Application, yeah.
classes. So I think good structure and
Okay,
all
so
the
one point at a time. Okay,
oh
so you
sure.
chalo, good structure. Now, some swastik you can counter him if you want. Okay, it's just the fun thing that we have over here. So he says coaching, good structure, structured study. What about you, swastik?
I would definitely not counter him. I mean, I agree. The structure is one of the biggest plus points of getting into a coaching. But I think I'll agree with ma'am here. It's a very personal thing. For me, why not coaching? It's basically a time thing. So I was working and I found that basically I would only give like 1 to 3 hours. 3 hours is like a luxury actually some days. So I cannot include the coaching into that because then I would be not left with any self analysis, self study, actually getting to know the subjects, right? So I believe that coaching was out the window for me. I can't do. So what I did was I did basically introspection and tried to understand what my strengths and weaknesses are. So in my perspective, I knew very well what I had to do for the next 6 months, but it's just about turning up every day and doing it. I had a fair idea of what I needed to do with ABC practice batch, all the sectionals, mocks, which to do when, how much to progress each day. I had already chalked it out by March end. It's
Hmm.
all about turning up by that point. So, but that's my thing. That's my case. Somebody may be in a situation where they don't know what the topics. So
Yeah.
being an engineer, I was fairly aware of all the quant topics. I think quant will form 50% of your preparation time. It's just the nature of it because that's a large syllabus and the topics are heavy. You can't just be like you read a topic for one day and you master algebra. That's not
True,
happening.
true, true.
I mean, we are privileged. We are from engineering background,
Hmm.
so definitely the classes definitely help in quants. For VARC, VRC also how to read the passages. I think my strength was VARC, so I had a natural inclination towards it. Somebody may not. They will definitely need someone to guide them, right? If they just aimlessly do trial and error, they will waste time. So I think the plus point for courses and classes are plenty, but it's a personal thing. I didn't have time,
Yeah.
and I was privileged enough to do a good introspection, and so I could do it with self study. So I
Hmm.
think
So
good
you
to
chose
that.
flexibility, obviously, because of paucity of time, and Samyak says structured classes. So Swastik doesn't disagree on that. Samyak, another thing that helped you as part of the coaching.
Getting a good community actually. Like I said, I saw a few people answering very fast in the application class and live classes. So I used to just naturally get into competition with them. कि, okay, मुझे भी fast करना है. So that one, and also doubt solving is something that there was iQuanta doubts as well. Yes, and sometimes my the peers used to just help me in solving the doubts. So I think having a good community is, I think, another plus for coaching.
What about you, Swastik? Didn't you miss out on that community? जैसा ये कह रहा है.
Yeah, I mean, live classes definitely. I mean, you get the peer interaction in the live classes. I definitely missed out on that, but we have the Facebook group, right? I mean, there's a vibrant community there, so I'm
Yeah.
definitely lucky to have that. And also other communities from other places, they all get together during MBA.
True.
Generally, when these mocks happen, people who are not even part of the course or anything, I saw them getting together, like the iQuanta toppers or other sectional toppers. They get together and make a coherent community in itself. So yeah, I think community is very important. I agree with Samyak. That really helps.
True, true, true. Boys and girls out there, अभी before we go to the third point, 3 points हमने लेने हैं, coaching versus self-study का. Before that, I would like to say something over here. Both the boys are talking about community learning. So, community learning is actually important. You don't have to give in to peer pressure, जैसा कि सम्यक ने बोला, but ठीक है, in the class, he would take it in a constructive way. कि मुझे करना है, मुझे भी करना है, वो कर सकता है तो मैं क्यों नहीं कर सकता हूं, ऐसा वाला टाइप्स. ठीक है. सो व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट कम्युनिटी लर्निंग, यू रियली नीड टू चेक आउट अवर ऐप, गाइस, इन केस you haven't done it yet, because our app is a little different from the rest. So what is happening on that app? I mean, like, for a long time, we used to tell our founder, why aren't we coming up with the app? What is taking us so long? But he always had that vision. He had that plan. He wanted community learning. He said community learning plays, like, it works wonders for students. So he wanted the app to have that community. So besides the classes, besides the doubt posting and everything, like, there is that community, and you feel you're part of some kind of, like, movement, some kind of, as a cult type, a cat cult, you can say. अच्छा नाम है वैसे, cat cult. हाँ, हम इसको नाम दे सकते हैं कोई चीज को, cat cult. So yeah, so that is what we have done. That community learning is something that you really need to check out for yourself. Go ahead, check out the app, and in case you feel you really need to be there, please do stay there. Join there. I'm not asking you to take a proper course, big course, but then just be there and be part of that. Chalo, Samyak, any third point that helped you as part of the community? I
I
mean, as
think,
part of the coaching thing.
yeah, just the regular influx of questions for
Hmm.
practice that really helped, because other than just application class and live classes, Indrajit sir would just randomly come up with some uh, practice session for time and speed at 4 o'clock. Join in. So that was like, okay, impromptu, chalo solve करने बैठते हैं. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And then there are, like so many dashboard exercises, so many like short tests. Matlab, there is like you can get spoiled for choice
Oh
actually.
yeah,
And
even you used
again,
to send the RC of the day. I remember that.
हाँ. So again, the thing is, यहाँ पे एक point बोलूंगी मैं सम्यक. Like students इसको भी देख करके ना some of them will get overwhelmed कि भाई इतना सामान है मेरे पास आती है queries. There is this, there is this, there is this, there is this. मैं कुछ नहीं कर पा रहा. So again, please do not take it as pressure. It's just that you're being given so many things, जैसे सम्यक ने बोला. But then ठीक है, you can use whatever you want or maybe take a little bit from everywhere. Swastik, how would you counter this or how would you give your viewpoint to this? This, like you get a constant influx of questions wala thing.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to the prioritization. It's like you have so much to do. You're being given every type of resources because not everybody, like everybody can benefit from one part of whatever is being given. So,
Right.
like, not everything is for everyone, but there is something for everyone. So
Very true.
that's the most important thing. So
I like that
not
actually. ठहर जाओ. I'll take that from you because जो हजारों मेरे पास queries आते हैं यही overwhelm वाला. I'll tell them this. Okay. What was that? Come again? Not
yeah,
everything is for everyone.
but some there are some things for everyone.
Huh, there is
Like
something in it for everyone. So it's up to
yeah,
you, whatever you dig out and whatever you use for yourself. That's nice. Very nice. $1 million statement, huh? Okay. So that is what. I mean, when Samyak is talking about that repository, that influx of questions, how did you manage your influx?
so only when I had the time, I honestly couldn't attend half of them. I mean, it's just the timings of those where, as he said, like 4 p.m. Like there's no chance I'm attending one at 4 p.m. Right? So
Right.
it's very difficult. Like I sometimes try to go back at night, maybe see some of the questions, but honestly, I would not be able to attend. Like if
Hmm.
somebody is seeing this and thinks that okay, yeah, I must do everything. These guys have done this all ABC batch, mock, sectional, 50 mocks, 60 mocks.
True, true,
Nobody
true.
just just try to do as much as you can. Don't overdo it. I think that's very important. So
True, true. Very true, very true.
if you're weak in
Even Yeah,
time
even when it comes to mocks, even when it comes to mocks, as you earlier said, don't go as far as 80, 90 and all if you can't cope with the analysis and the the checking part and all. So anyway, so all of you out there, it has always been there. This thing, जैसे वो है ना egg or the hen. उसी तरह से वो तो खैर आगे पीछे वाला है बट यहाँ पे this has always been a dilemma, coaching or self study. So it's totally up to you guys. There is no pressure. It's like, if you are a self-determined individual and if you feel that you can wake up every morning, Swastik ne ek cheez bola tha, it's all about showing up. It's all about doing it. Okay. Every day you have to do it. So if you think you can do it that way, you don't need anybody else to goad you into action. Go ahead with self study. On the other hand, if you think that you need some good educators, some mentors along the way, you need एकदम structured beginnings. कई बार क्या होता है ना students के like in the beginning we don't know what direction to take. So there, that is when you need some educators, you need some kind of guidance, you need some kind of structured courses, and then you understand, अच्छा, इसमें इधर जाना है, इसमें इधर जाना है, ठीक है? So guys, it's all up to you. But when it comes to giving you things, yes, we have tons and tons of things at iQuanta. You can join us for maybe like some trial classes or something. Acha, both the boys, before we pack up and call it a day, there is one question that has been there on my mind. आ गया मेरे VRC से related एक बहुत प्यारा सा question जो कि सबका pain point है, ठीक है? So, were you both always an avid reader or you started reading things mainly for cat?
For cat.
Swastika का तो मुझे लग रहा है कि like he was a voracious reader all along. What do you say, Swastika?
uh, I was definitely an avid reader during my high school days, but since JE prep, I don't think I've read much book, to
Okay.
be honest. But that muscle memory and that
Yes.
vocabulary that you build up, that stays.
Yep, yep. The muscle memory was
That
there.
is
And then you did not have that aversion to reading, na? The brain chickens out when you see the stuff. ऐसा वो नहीं था
no.
आपका. So that helps. What about you, Samyak?
I am definitely not a reader. I just started for cat,
Okay.
but but like I read consistently and like I had the determination to okay, see, VARC is something that you cannot skip, so you have to get done with it. So there's no point in being very average or bad at it because you
Mhm.
can't escape it. So might as well be decent to good at it, right? So that's why I started reading for cat.
No, so
And it's the highest scoring also.
yeah.
Yeah.
Say Swastik.
It's the highest scoring section, so maximizing it.
Exactly. Yeah. No, so Samyak, I was asking you, so you really believe that you scored well in VARC mainly because of your reading thing? I mean, you actually read and that is something that helped you, or you feel something else helped you in VRC?
Your fund is, ma'am, honestly. The
It's not always about only fundas. No, Samyak, all the fundas are going to go down the drain if the person doesn't have that certain, ये देख रहे हो आप, ये certain foundation. अब जैसे स्वास्तिक ने बोला ना, गो बैक टू हिज पॉइंट, उसने जी में जी कह रही हूँ, जेई में उसने रोक दिया था पढ़ना, राइट, बट ही हैड सर्टेन मसल मेमोरी, सर्टेन
Mhm.
फाउंडेशंस, राइट सम्यक? तो
Right,
अब
right.
उसके ऊपर अगर वो आ करके मेरे पास से या कहीं भी किसी भी एजुकेटर से फंडाज लेता है तो दैट विल वर्क ना। तुम
Yeah, for
सोच के
sure.
देखो यहाँ पे कि अगर आपका ब्लैंक है कैनवस यहाँ पे वीआरसी का, यू आर नॉट एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड द बेसिक टर्म्स एंड कॉन्सेप्ट, तो कैसे होगा? फंडास कौन सा काम आएगा वहां पे?
That, okay. In that sense, yes. I mean, some vocabulary and some reading speed, some
वही वही
reading
दैट्स व्हाट आई
base
एम
is
सेइंग। हाँ,
required.
तो वही
But yeah.
एक
Yeah, I
सर्टेन
mean,
लेवल तो चाहिए ना, उसके
हाँ
ऊपर
हाँ हाँ.
तुम जितना भी फंडास लगा लो। मतलब देखो जनरली ऐसा होता है, लाइक इवन इन द लास्ट 3-4 years एंड ऑल आई हैव सीन कि आई एम अहमदाबाद के मेरे कुछ कन्वर्ट्स थे, 2-3 लड़के थे, दे सैट विद मी इन द इंटरव्यूज एंड दे सेड दिस थिंग। मैम हमको तो ना, लाइक वी वर ऑलवेज गुड रीडर्स, तो हमने आपका ज्वाइन किया था फॉर ओनली 2 months। मतलब we joined and we just attended your classes for 2 months and then we got everything, we wrapped up everything. So that is where your point comes in कि हाँ ठीक है फंडास एंड ऑल ठीक है लगा लेंगे, बिकॉज आई ट्रूली बिलीव वीआरसी इज बोथ अ साइंस एंड एन आर्ट। मतलब उसमें ना हम एवरी सिंगल डे वी कम अप विद समथिंग नाइस एंड न्यू एंड ऑल, ये टेक्निक अच्छा मे बी यू कैन डू इट दिस वे सो इट विल लाइक काइंड ऑफ टेक लेस टाइम, वो ऑल आई अग्री। बट दोनों आप दोनों से मतलब वही मेरा पूछने का पर्पस था कि हाँ भाई रीडिंग अगर एक सर्टेन लेवल बिल्डअप नहीं किया हुआ है,
Right.
हाउ विल यू डू ओवर एंड अबव दैट?
so yeah, I have something to add here as well. So what
Sure.
ma'am said, I completely agree, because what is the foundation basically? So let's say you have not read anything. You open a passage, you have all the fundas and the techniques that you have to tackle that RC passage. You encounter a passage on philosophy, and it's some Marxist philosophy, and something is happening about Adam Smith's capitalism, and you have never heard of Adam Smith, you have never heard of Marxism, you've never heard what is capitalism, you have not even the faintest clue. So how will you do the passage? There's
Sure.
no way you're doing the passage. It doesn't matter what you have done, what funda you know. So the reading builds that, okay, oh, so this is also a thing I've heard somewhere I've read something related to it, you can relate. That's the reading speed. Because unless you don't know that, you will be like stuck on a line. It's like, what does this line even say? What does this mean? We have always encountered this. Like every person has encountered. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not understanding this paragraph. You just
True.
rereading it again, but you're not internalizing what's happening. So I think that's why the variety of reading is required.
ट्रू
That's my fact.
एग्जैक्टली। चलो अब मेरे दिल को ठंडक पहुंची फाइनली, लाइक आई हैव बीन एबल टू गेट दैट क्वेश्चन आउट and over to the audience. So audience, I hope you heard that very clearly. Now we are going to wrap up. So both the boys, before we say goodbye to the audience, I want both of you to give one like parting gyan or like last words, what they should do abhi se lekar ke cat tak. It can be anything like staying calm or consistent or whatever. Samyak, go first.
I think just show up every day, be consistent with the preparation. And if you have been consistent, if the exam is hard, it will be hard for everyone. So if you encounter a hard exam, don't start panicking. Okay, I used to solve 15 questions in quant, which sarisi सात ही हो रहे हैं. Don't worry, the others are going to end up solving only two. So be
Right.
consistent with the hard work.
Great.
Yeah.
Swastik, you.
Yeah, very similar. I mean, I think three things: turn up every day, try to turn up every day, even if for like 1 hour or 30 minutes, whatever. Um, don't care about mock scores too much. They will fluctuate, they will go bad, they will go good. And third thing is, if you do those first two things, by the exam day, you will be like, whatever I do, I think I will do better than most people. So even if I'm doing bad, I'm confident that what I'm doing, I'm able to do good in the exam. So I think you need to walk in with that philosophy. Otherwise, it's like, oh my God, I only solved two questions now. What to do? That will happen.
Right,
So
right,
the
right.
confidence is required. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
so
thing.
exactly like it was discussed earlier. You need to gaslight yourself during the exam. कि मैं तो best हूँ.
हाँ, गैसलाइट, यस
Very
यस।
important.
मूवी याद आ गई मुझे। और मेरी तरफ से लाइक लास्ट वर्ड्स, मुझे पता है कि आप लोग मुझसे मांग नहीं रहे हो, इन दोनों स्टड से मांग रहे हो, लेकिन फिर भी मैं दे देती हूँ आपको। मेरी तरफ से लास्ट वर्ड्स है बेस्ड ऑन व्हाट सम्यक had said earlier. सम्यक ने बोला था आई wanted it. मेरे हिसाब से भैया वो एक बहुत मैटर करता है. आई मीन अगर आप चाहते हो कोई चीज को, मतलब आई डोंट वांट टू गो इनटू एनी फैंसी एंड चीजी डायलॉग्स एंड ऑल, बट इफ यू वांट समथिंग, रियली वांट समथिंग, भाई मैं सिंपल एज दिस जानती हूँ, यू हैव टू डू दैट एक्स्ट्रा हार्ड वर्क. इट्स वेरी इजी फॉर अस टू से मेरा प्रमोशन नहीं हो रहा है यार, मेरा ना पे नहीं बढ़ रहा है यार, मैं कब से ट्राई कर रहा हूँ. मेरा क्वेश्चन है व्हाट आर यू डूइंग, व्हाट इज दैट एक्स्ट्रा थिंग दैट यू आर डूइंग. पहले वो तो करो ना, उसके बाद ही तो आप सोच सकते हो. जैसे मेरे बच्चे जानते हैं, स्टूडेंट्स जो मतलब मुझे कॉल करते हैं या व्हाट्सएप पे टच में रहते हैं, कईयों को ये झिड़की पड़ती है. वो मुझे कॉल करके, पता है स्वास्तिक एंड सम्यक, दे आस्क मी समटाइम्स लाइक, नहीं नहीं आई डोंट थिंक आई कैन मैनेज विद द रीडिंग थिंग, नहीं नहीं आई डोंट नो, आई कांट मैनेज विद दिस, इंग्लिश इज वेरी टफ. कई बार मैं डांट के उनको यही कहती हूँ कि कोई जरूरी है तुम कैट दो. मैंने कहा कैट इज नॉट फॉर यू, मत दो, रेलवेज जाके दे दो ना, रेलवे का एग्जाम दो, उसमें इंग्लिश नहीं होता है. सो देन आई हैव टू शो देम दिस हार्श ट्रूथ कि भाई अगर तुम तैयार हो, कुछ चाहिए तुम्हें, why will you not work hard for it, why will you shirk work, that is my question. सो मेरे हिसाब से तो भाई हमेशा हार्ड वर्क टेक्स यू समवेयर. हार्ड वर्क कपल इट विद स्मार्ट वर्क, आजकल हमारे पास टेक्नोलॉजी है, गो अहेड एंड कपल इट विद दैट. मैं आपके पास अक्सर पोस्ट करती रहती हूँ, क्लॉड के पास जाओ, चैट जीपीटी के पास जाओ, ये सब करो वो सब करो, बट यू हैव टू डू इट एंड देन वो तो मशीन है दैट विल हेल्प यू. Chalo, boys, both of you, Swastik and Samyak, it has been a lovely time with you both. I mean, I'm sure you both enjoyed as well, taking
Yes, ma'am.
out the Gyan
Yes,
points
ma'am.
and giving it to the audience over here. It was a lovely conversation with both the boys. Audience, I sincerely hope you have benefited from this and take their pearls of wisdom seriously because they have been there, done that वाला इनका हाल है. सो ये मतलब बिल्कुल ही जिसको कहते हैं ना, हियरिंग इट फ्रॉम द हॉर्सेस माउथ, इन लोगों ने कर रखा है, वो आप भी कर सकते हो. Seriously, I'm telling you, if they can, so can you. So go ahead, everybody. All the very best. And Samyak and Swastik, all the very best to both of you. Have a rocking 2 years at IIM Bangalore and just enjoy. That is the thing that I would say, the community that you're going to be part of. You are actually paying the fees for the community. You're going to be rubbing shoulders with the best minds of the country. So it's the 2 years, and you should have a rocking time along with the studies and everything. Okay, boys, take care of yourselves.
Thank you.
Signing
Thank
out
you, ma'am.
now, everybody. All of you take care. Bye bye, guys. All the best.
Thank you. All the best.